am in the show.
Welcome to the show.
Hi,
I am Stephen Landry,
and I'm Graya Moon.
and you made that screen huge. Why did you do that?
Because I want to be able to see us.
Well, I'm partially blind, so it's like
Oh.
in my face when I got the glasses.
Okay, but I want to be able to see. So.
Better you than me. So I am the author of the Stardiver series. I am also the co-author of Vampire Sorcerer with Alex Etzios, Temple of the Storm, which is a young adult fantasy series with Robbie Below. The first book is completely free to read and available on Amazon. I am also the co-author of Station Company Corps, Detain and Extract, Monster Hunters, Interns, Freelancers, and Operations with Jeffrey Falcon Logue. I have written a standalone lit RPG post-apocalypse called Pop Smoke, which is a standalone again, and as well as a dark fantasy book standalone called Tattered Banners that ties into Temple of the Storm. Next year we are launching a new series called Total Protectors.
Yep.
And I am also currently serializing Monster Monday and Werewolf Wednesday on my Patreon.
I am also currently working on a series that I think might be a good series, and I will go into more detail if y'all want to know about that, but
it is going to be a great series.
I'm hoping. I'm keeping my fingers crossed and manifesting that. But yeah, that will be
Do you want to tell them the name of it?
Yeah, I was trying to remember what I had named it. That's it. It's called Dungeon Doggy Daycare. It is a series based in a dungeon where all of the dogs that this one individual takes care of are the dogs of the gods. And through a series of events has to go through the dungeon in order to save the dog's owners from one scenario or another. So hopefully that will be out within like the next 2 years, I'm hoping. I'm like I said, I'm currently working on it.
So we are kind of, and me personally, I know I've released 17 books, but I'm honestly a very slow writer compared to a lot of authors in the genre. For lack of a better term, it typically takes me about 3 to 6 months to even a collaboration. Stardivers was originally released in 2019.
Yep.
And I think the first book probably took me a good 2 years to write.
Yeah.
And then it was like it was crazy because after that first book got out there, everything started to just kind of click into place for me. And I wrote the second book within a few months. And then there was a character in that second book named Mira who appeared. And I fell in love with that character. And I had to write. I was originally planning just like a short novella about her, something that kind of fill a gap between books two and 3, and it ended up turning into 140,000 word novel. And then she took a main role in Stardiver's Cold Zone and Stardiver's Mercy of the Wind.
She's also and this is kind of a spoiler, but she will also appear in Total Protectors. She's going to be assisting with some of the main characters in that book.
So you've heard it first here. Mira is back and will be returning in 2025 to the Stardivers Baneverse world. Yeah. I was actually a full-time author in 2020 and 2021 and part of 2022. I also do graphic design.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've done the typography for close to about 80 different books now.
Yeah. You work really hard on each and every one of those, and I love every time you're like, Tori is the center, help me a little bit, and I'm like, yes, it's perfect, go with it.
It's so funny. Like I mentioned being blind earlier. I'm not blind. I just can't quite see things when they're more than a few feet in front of my face.
Yeah, and sometimes when he's stared at something and for the longest time, he'll finally get to a point where he's like, Graya, come in here and point out anything that's wrong. And most of the time I look at it and I'm like, yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with it. And he's slightly a perfectionist. But he puts his heart and soul into everything he does. And
I think one of the other reasons that I do it is it's in a way, it's a way for me to give back to a community that has given us so much.
Yeah, so much. Like
originally I had a series coming out this year called Dungeon Valkyrie, and Kaiju Core was also going to come out this year, but and I know this is hard, but like 6 months ago, our emotional support animal passed away, TT, and it was one of the hardest moments in my life. But this community, when it happened, Matt Dinneman, Rin, KT, Richie, so many people came together for us.
Yeah.
Helping us out.
And there are no words that I can honestly say to show how much both of us really appreciate all of the help that y'all gave us.
The Lit RPG community, I've been a part of it since 2016. Tao Wong's System Apocalypse was one of the first books I read, followed by The Land, followed by Jeffrey's Slime Dungeon. It's just been amazing watching the community grow, watching the floodgates open, seeing all the publishers rise. It's been beautiful.
Yeah, 100%. It's been an uphill journey, but we have gotten to the point now that it is not just this little bitty niche community anymore. We're finding that a lot of people are finding this genre amazing and want more of it.
And like the people that we've encountered, like many of them, most of them become like our best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to give a huge thank you to Geneva for having us here, and everybody that's been involved.
Yeah.
So back to Stardivers.
Yes.
Back to the books really quick. So the Stardivers universe is the first book can be read standalone. The first book can be read standalone, but it is the first book in a series. But it's also the launch of basically an expanded universe called the Baneverse. So what happens is when you first read it, it comes across as like this VR world, and it's explained in a way that you get into a VR pod and you go into this game. But, and this is a spoiler, by the second book, you find out that it's not actually a game. Your consciousness has actually been uploaded into the future.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a major event that happens in the series called the Ascension, where those playing the game, well, not the game, but those who have had their consciousness uploaded into that future become trapped. Yes.
100%.
And everybody that's trapped realize just how real this is, and the stakes get super, super high. And that kind of goes into Total Protectors.
Yeah.
The series that we're launching next year follows these characters that are on this planet, and they're having to protect the wildlife and the colonists, the civilization, basically the NPCs who have been living in this future, who have been treated unkindly by raiders and former gamers. They go into protection mode.
Yeah. It follows Tolly and Chase and Lucinda, who happens, and this is kind of a spoiler, but happens to be Gorge's niece in real life. And
Gorge is one of the main characters from the Stardiver series.
Yes. And throughout it, she is trying to figure out just how to protect these animals, how to keep
it's
this
almost
planet
like a coming
safe.
of age story, and
Yeah.
she's trying to find her place in this new world, protect others, protect the animals, and at the same time there's like this romance plot that evolves from there.
Yeah.
Two people from totally different worlds uniting and coming together,
and figuring out how to just be, and a lot of that I kind of draw on our own relationship, because in a lot of ways we did come from like two different worlds, and like there have been times where I've struggled to see things from his point of view, or he's struggled to see things from my point of view, but we balance each other out so perfectly. I don't think that I could see myself with anybody else ever. And finding that balance is a struggle, but you do eventually find it. And I think there's a beauty in that. And I wanted to tell that in such a way that other people could relate to it.
And one of the other big features, of course, is the monster taming.
Yes. Yeah.
We both are absolute, what's the word that Rose called us? Weebs?
Yeah, we're weebs.
We're weebs.
We're 100% weebs.
Total weebs. Anime, sci-fi, fantasy, D&D, you name it. We love it.
Yep.
We live it. We play we play a weekly D&D game. We also have a bi-weekly D&D game.
Define the word. Weeb would be a person who finds joy in all genres. So it's not just one particular thing that you nerd out about. It's I like Pokemon and I go crazy for Pokemon, or like animes, any of the animes, especially like the yes, 100%.
Love being on the panel with you two.
Yes, 100. Yep. Sorry, I've been saying that a lot. I'm gonna stop saying that. But
So yeah, one of our favorite things is like monster taming,
yeah,
monster hunting, and already like with Jeffrey Falconlogue with Station Company Corps, we created this sci-fi world with cyberpunk aesthetics, except this group go on this long voyage, crash on a planet, are abducted by a space station, and the next thing they know, they have become shareholders, interns, and have to move their way up to unlock areas of the station by hunting down monsters.
Yeah.
Or capturing them.
And the same kind of goes for like Total Protectors. In that story, one of Tolly's, the main character's companions, is a blind Rottweiler like dog creature that is named Serenity. And she got her she helped this animal, and the animal was like, nope, you're my person, I'm stuck to you. And in another situation, like the one of the creatures that she is helping on the planet has decided that she's her person. So it's a combination of like, how do you save these creatures, but also at the same time, like, they choose.
Always. And for those that don't know, JD has a Kickstarter happening right now.
Yeah.
And I believe it's for one of his films.
Yeah. Definitely check it out.
Let's see. So yeah, like next year we're leaning really into like the tamer, monster tamer aspects. We're going into like the horror genre. We're currently on my Patreon, I have originally it wasn't, the monsters do level up.
They do level up.
And they are sentient.
And they are sentient. Well, sentient in that in his stories they are. But in my case, these are sentient in that they are animals and they know that they are animals. But they do have, like most animals, you can form a bond with. And they have that knowledge and that realization that they need to help this person. So like with the gods of my dogs, they are all just the like Fenrir and who else did I have?
I'd have to look at the notes.
Yeah, I can't remember all the dogs. I have a lot of them. They are still just the animals that the gods have taken care of. What did I say?
Sentient versus sapient.
Sapient. Yeah.
Sentient.
Sentient. Yeah. They have a realization, like they know what they are, but they
have feelings, they have thoughts, they can make decisions and stuff on their
yeah
own.
But like, so like, okay, Fenrir is this beautiful, magnificent wolf of Loki's, or Cerberus is the other one, but giant 3-headed dog, but it knows that it's a dog, kind of going into that aspect. I'm gonna stop rambling now. Sorry.
You just got off work, it's okay.
Yeah,
you actually work with dogs.
I do. I work at a doggy daycare, and that's where a lot of the inspiration for the story is coming from, because I have a lot of love for the old mythology with all of the animals, but I also work at a doggy daycare, so I have to deal with that kind of situation all the time. What dog works with what dog and all that stuff. So
And kind of going into like the monster aspect again, on my Patreon right now, I've got over 50 chapters of a story called just #Monster Monday, and it's kind of a monster of the week story, and it is about a group of like spec ops basically called Hinder, and every week they are trying to save the world from some kind of creepypasta, some kind of monster from the backrooms, some kind of creature from ancient mythology that has broken through a rift. One of the things that I've always been fascinated with has been Norse mythology and the 9 realms. Yes, they are our babies. And so with Monster Monday, I've created this like spec ops team who are currently in the Arctic trying to stop the apocalypse, and they have been forced into, and this is something I haven't seen in Lit RPG a lot, but a death game where a god has put just a few people and given them a system that they then have to adapt to, and they have to level up. They have to keep playing the game in order to survive. And my other current serial, which is at 54 chapters right now, is Werewolf Wednesday. And of course, both of these, Monster Monday posts on Monday, Werewolf Wednesday posts on Wednesday. But Werewolf Wednesday is kind of this extreme, really, it takes place in the Baneverse as well. But it's like an extreme version of a 90s cartoon with lit RPG elements. So you have a werewolf who is powered by the moon. So that's where they draw their ether from, their kai, and they turn that into mana. There's definitely a cultivation aspect to it. There is an uplifted rat who's about 2 feet tall named Gnawclaw, who has it's called the Deck of Many Ducks. And if you've seen TJ's posts or takeovers or anything like that, Duck Squad is this, I don't even remember the exact details of how it started, but in my reader group, Club Kaiju, it was like him, Richie, Brandon, Wolfie. We started calling ourselves the Duck Squad, and it just kind of grew from there. So Gnawclaw, who's this uplifted rat, has a deck of many ducks and can summon with it these duck-like monsters and other alien monsters that are in the Baneverse. It's just been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's been absolutely nuts. I take a lot of inspiration from anime and kind of pour that into my writing. So my writing has a lot of like really big battles. In the 3rd Vampire Sorcerer book, I remember writing a battle scene that was like 10,000 words.
Yeah.
Let's see. And what else are we working on? We've also got next year I'm launching a series called Dungeon Valkyrie. It was the one that was supposed to launch this year. Then we lost TT, and it's just been hard to go back to, but it's getting there. It's in the final stages. I'm also working on another new series called Kaiju Core. Because again, I'm obsessed with monsters. And so it is about a character named Draken who his father is killed by a kaiju. It's a lit RPG apocalypse. his father is killed by a kaiju, and he takes his father's rifle and he goes on the hunt for revenge. And he's on this beach, and when he gets, him and the group that he's with get attacked, and nearly all of them are just slaughtered. It's very grimdark. He barely manages to survive and is then stuck there starving. And when he's starving, he reaches into the dead kaiju's chest and pulls out its core and eats it. And the moment he eats it, he basically gets his own system, because he becomes not completely possessed, but almost like he has the kaiju kind of get into his head, like the ghost of the kaiju get into his head.
Yeah.
And it starts to give him abilities and stuff like that. And from there, it's about him cultivating, learning to survive, and growing as a person.
Yeah. I think we got the 5-minute mark from Geneva there a minute ago.
Cool. So yeah, I'm Stephen Landry. I've got a lot of stuff coming out next year. More Stardivers, Total Protectors, Dungeon Valkyrie, Kaiju Core. We're continuing with Monster Monday and Werewolf Wednesday, posting every Monday, every Wednesday on Patreon. Total Protectors will be on there soon.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to start posting chapters for that.
And Dungeon Doggy Daycare.
And Dungeon Doggy Daycare, too.
Yeah, that's
yes.
a great one. I am always interested in hearing what others have going on. I have my reader group on Facebook, Club Kaiju. People are always allowed to post there. I'm also the admin for Lit RPG Forum, Lit RPG Audio Plus, and a couple of others. If anybody ever wants to promote anything, just holler at me. I'm always here to listen, always here to talk. I love this community.
Yeah, 100%. Anytime anyone needs to just vent about their day, reach out to us. I'm Tori Newton on Facebook. I'm willing to listen and help if you need it.
And we are looking forward to seeing everybody in person next year at JordanCon.
Yes. Very excited about that.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Speed dating sumo? Yes.
Go for it.
I think we have a few minutes left. So if anybody has any more questions, we are here. Otherwise, how was your day?
It was good. It was good. Long, but good.
Cool. Again, shout out to Matt, Rin, KT, Geneva, Richie, so many people.
Yeah.
Also, everybody should message Richie and tell him to start working on the Stardivers audiobooks and short stories. Step on me or step on Richie? Oh yeah, yes. Send Richie feet pictures.
Yes, send Richie feet pictures.
We love you guys.
We do. We love this community, and anytime anyone needs anything, just reach out to us. We're more than happy to help.
Send Richie feet pics.
Make them extra spicy. Tell him to work on narrating more.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yes.
Love to see you there. Yes, Richie is Santos. I will put that on the audiobook cover. Oh yeah, and real quick, last week the third book in Station Company Core dropped on Audible. It came out through Podium, narrated by Jessica Threet. She is amazing. I wrote songs for her to sing, and she did them beautifully.
Yeah, he had me help him sing those.
Yes,
That was
an experience.
That was an experience nobody wants to hear.
Yeah, I look forward to writing more and working with so many more talented, amazing authors and narrators in the coming year. And is that our time, or
I don't know.
I have no idea. You just do an awkward wave now and end it.
Bye.
Do I